Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Don't pause. Press play. 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 Don't pause. Press play. I wanna hear what you got to say. Press play. Press play. I wanna hear what you got to say. Don't pause, press play. Press play. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Don't pause. Press play. 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 Don't pause. Press play. I wanna hear what you got to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to O.C.C. Scrim's Gold Division. Tonight we have a pretty interesting game in front of us. It's Titans versus Projekt Proteus. My name is Delitzy. I'm joined today by Cal. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Let's see. Ready for tonight's matches. Excited to see what these two teams come out with.
So last I checked, Projekt Proteus has been on a little bit of a tough streak right now. They haven't quite been able to catch a break, but they have been working hard and they have been steadily improving. And with some new metas starting to come out, with Baptiste especially, we've seen some really great plays from that hero. And, Goats is just not as prolific as it used to be. And that does offer up a lot of opportunities to teams that maybe weren't doing quite as well before. So I'm definitely pretty interested to see how these teams are going to be able to adapt and work through today's matches.
Yeah, you said it. With the downfall of the Goats meta, as you know, it does still happen every now and then, but there are other combinations that work now. The teams have sort of switched around. Void is no longer winning every game. I think Titans actually coming off a win against them last time they played. So this division is still a toss-up. It's anyone's game.
And if Projekt Proteus then can get a win against Titans, that would be very interesting to see. And what players should we be looking at here? I'm definitely going to keep an eye on Danks, who usually does a great job playing the Reinhardt, does a good job there. Also, Sozin usually does a good job on the off tank, on the your Zarya and your Diva. Definitely like to see those heroes played well.
Yeah, well, like you said, that's Sozin, and then House of Homie, he also plays off-tank a lot for the Titans, so that's going to be a good matchup watching those two go at it. And then for the Titans, you got Hot Pocket and Hanzuki, which are the two main DPS players. Hanzuki plays a lot of Widowmaker, so we'll see if he pulls that out. obviously, if a Widowmaker can hit their shots, you know how game-changing it can be.
So being able to just instantly delete somebody from the enemy team is incredibly valuable. And just knowing that when you're going up against a good Widowmaker, you have to be constantly aware of your cover and where the other Widow is, because if you get caught out, you are in absolute danger of just being removed from the game. So we're going to be going into our first map pretty soon. It's going to be Busan, the control map.
Busan, a lot of fun. As you guys know, these control maps, I like to call them King of the Hill style maps. A lot of different strategies you can come out with. And the fun thing about these maps is a lot of times it comes down to this big brawl where whatever team has the best attack is winning. Whoever has the best DPS on their side seems to be the one winning it, just because of how much killing the other team matters in this game.
Absolutely. So I definitely want to see how the teams manage to work with that. Obviously, you guys know you just have to hold on to the point until you get to 100%. And usually teams that are good at taking points, not only, but also teams that are good at holding them, which, you know, you sort of had to have one. You either need to be able to take the point early on and be able to hold it for the entire game, or you need to be good enough to be able to take the point repeatedly. Even if you lose it, you know you're going to be able to take it back. So a lot of it is keeping control of your ultimates, not going too in if you don't really have the resources to good team coordination, and it's what makes Control one of the more interesting game modes to me.
Yeah, the first map you see we're coming out with is going to be Courtyard. A lot of different strategies will come out with here. Pharah works very well just because of the large open area you have to fight with in the middle, as well as an Ana or Widowmaker, anyone for sight lines or the long lanes here. In this map, you can sit in the back by general safety with the health pack or your healer. So interested to see what the two teams come out with, or they can go with the Goats comp and get that 3-3, use the left-hand side, use that cover to sort of close distance on their enemy and play that brawl game that Goats like to play so much.
Did you see the workshop map that was Smash Brothers on here?
I saw a little bit of those workshop maps on Reddit. The main one I saw, obviously, is Gud Game. That is taken over and on a paintball. But I haven't seen too many of them. I haven't played too many of them myself. But no,
I haven't
not
really been able to either. So it does look like Pro is going to be running Goats versus the enemy, which is running a more standard comp.
Yeah, you can see the Hanzuki and Hot Pocket coming out with the two DPS, which I like to see, like I said, Widowmaker or Hanzo. Anything that can snipe here is going to have good sight lines. Hanzuki can try to use this cover to get in behind this enemy. But obviously, Tracer's very hard to play into Goats. There's a lot of CC out there.
Surprised is hit by an Onanade and is brought down pretty low, but does survive, but does get pinned and gets taken out by Bunny. This is allowing Pro to start moving forward and be able to take the point. Capture Progress has started moving forward, and they will be taking the point, and Titans is going to have to fall back.
Yeah, Project Proteus did that really well right there. Pro, like you said, using that left-hand side, using that cover to close the gap real quick, getting onto point. And they just have the right comp against this. I think Titans are going to need to go back and change their comp, maybe get rid of this Tracer, or have this Hanzo really start hitting a lot of shots, or else it's going to be hard.
Hanzuki, hit by an Onanade, has to fall back, drop pretty low, and does fall to the Fire Strike. That's pretty big, and the Dragons are on the field. Don't seem to catch anybody, though. That came from the Titans. There is a hammer down from Bunny, and it does absolutely huge work. Now Nano Boosted wants to continue to move forward and is just swiping away, getting the triple kill, getting the quad kill, and there is the fifth. Absolutely huge.
Oh, great play there by Bunny, catching 4 people with the hammer. Anna obviously had her Nano to give to him. Huge play, well-earned pentakill right there. Like to start out games.
That is what we want to see. Now Titans, they have a pretty tough game ahead of them. Although they do have the ult advantage, they are sitting on one ultimate. They're going to be getting that Earth Shatter soon, and now they also have the nuke. Whereas Titans, they don't have anything, and because of that, Titans are going to have a really tough time taking this point. They'll have to play this very slow and very smart to be able to maneuver around all these ultimates that are going to be on the field. Here's where we're throwing it. There's the hammer down from Bunny, and it does huge work, but a return. Oh, there is Sniv with the nuke, getting a triple kill. Hanzuki tried using that rocket barrage to open up Pro, but it did not work, and they have fallen yet again.
Man, Sozin doing a great job on main heal, keeping his team alive through a rocket barrage. Only one man going down. It looked like a lot was getting hit by it too. Hanzuki and Hot Pocket are doing a good job on this DPS role. Unfortunately, Ghost is just so hard to knock down with all that healing on the core.
It's going to take a lot of coordination. Bunny is nano boosted, is doing a lot of work swinging around, and a hammer down from Surprise. Didn't see to catch anybody, and the Graviton Surge did catch Danks. There's 2 people down on the side of Pro. Will they be able to turn around with the hammer down? Says they might. Bunny trying to just swing through and do some damage, but isn't going to be able to quite find the kills that they need, and they have fallen as long as he looks taken. Sniff, D-Mag trying to fall back, will not survive, and Titans taking the point.
Yeah, good job by Hot Pocket there, using his ult to get Sniv out of mech, and without the Diva mech, all the damage incoming has nothing to negate it. No defense magic is on the field for them. Titans does have the right comp for this with the Pharah and the Junkrat. They have enough damage from distance to get down this enemy comp. Unfortunately, if the Project Proteus can close the gap quick enough, they're going to win these team fights.
Project Proteus, they're looking for an opening here. They do have the Graviton Surge available for them, looking for an opportunity to use that. But Sozin down, they have no main healer, and it's going to be difficult for them to continue taking this point. There is the Rocket Barrage from Hanzuki taking out a Helix Snake, and House of Homie has fallen on the side of Titans, but that isn't going to be enough with Danks falling as well. Pro, they do not have the firepower to take out Titans here.
Yeah, Project Proteus has to realize what their game plan is right now with the playing Goats. They have to build up their ults. The comp really relies on them having ults when the enemy team has them as well. They're just more powerful and they have more sustain. So if they can get this Diva Bomb up with this Gravitational, they can combo with that, it's going to be game over for them. All they need is one good take. So we'll see if they can combo this.
They have moved along to the stairs and are now on the point, but a hammer down, knocking down Bunny will not be able to do a lot of work there. And there is the Riptire taking out 2, and the rest of Titans following up. That's 4 people down, and Pro yet again has to go back to the spawn. We're just rounding 80% on the point.
Well, House of Homie, I think, was the unsung hero in that fight. You saw he actually was able to suck up the Wolf Pack ult, the Zarya Bomb, which is so big as a diva to get that Zarya ult, because that is just a game-changing ult. Great job by House.
But now, this is going to have to be the last fight. Bunny nano boosted, swing away, got the hammer down, and did knock down several members. And there is the Sniv nuke as well, catching out Hanzuki. Seems like they will be able to do this. Titans taking away House of Homie. One of the last ones left, as long as Quaking Punch and Hot Pockets are on the point and trying to defend it a little bit while longer, but doesn't look like they are going to be standing long. Overtime starts to tick down. It doesn't look like Titans will be able to contest, and Pro takes the first point.
Yeah, that was really great play right there out of Project Proteus. Just to settle down, realize they had the right comp for the job. They just needed to build their ult, which they did. Once they had the Reinhardt and the Diva ult together, you could see it got the quick kills to start that fight off. Easy win for them once they were able to use their ults. Great job by House of Homie sucking up the Zarya Bomb. Even better job by Project Proteus recognizing that fight was lost and saving their ults for the next fight.
And so it's time to move on to the hangar. This is also a very interesting map, lots of high grounds and very narrow choke points to work around. And it's one that Goats works really well. And taking a quick look at this, looks like both teams are going to be running pretty much the same compositions. Hot Pockets has swapped over to the McCree, though.
Yeah, McCree's an interesting comp. Instead of the Junkrat, I think Junkrat outputs a little more damage. But if McCree can hit his stun and his right click, obviously that right click is an insane amount of damage right now. And the stun, right click, roll, right click again is a great combo. So to get down even like the biggest.
And the teams are clashing, and Surprise is going to be the first to fall. Hot Pocket is doing a little bit of work, though this could be what they need. Pro moving into the choke point, trying to catch a couple members of Titans out, but they do just back up. The point is starting to move over. Hanzuki was contesting the point, but Pro moves on there, pushes Hanzuki off, and takes the point for their own. Now, you know, Titans, they're looking for a little bit of an opportunity to move in here, but they're going to have a little bit of a rough time finding just what they need. Hot Pocket is getting caught out a little bit, trying to run away, does get away for now, and there is a charge from Bunny. Does manage to knock Surprise into the wall, but Surprise is healed up shortly after, with Hanzuki getting a double kill, knocking out both of the supports, or rather 2 of the supports on the side of Pro. It doesn't look like they'll be able to contest this point much longer, and I don't know if they'll be able to hold on to a Bunny down. That is no main tank, and Titans is taking the point. They have taken it, and Pro has to fall back.
Yeah, they started out the very first fight with getting down the Reinhardt. Project Proteus did, and they sort of questioned whether or not they should continue the fight into the enemy team's spawn. But they ended up backing off to get point, and you question whether that was the right move. I think they should have killed the entire enemy team and then gotten spawn. Maybe they would have been turning the point over at 40 or 50% instead of 28%. But nonetheless, they're ready to fight again.
Both teams fighting now, and there is a great hammer down from Surprise. Is Nana boosted, but the barrier is there to keep everybody alive. Surprise tries to return a charge, but doesn't manage to get a kill with it. There is a nuke, though. You got to be careful. Oh, that is two of them caught, and Sniv out of the mech. That could be exactly what Titans needs to continue to hold on to this point. It's just Bunny trying to swing away on the point and doing some work, but isn't going to be able to do it all. And that is yet again Pro having to retreat to their spawn.
Man, House of Homie with a really just impressive job on this D.Va play. Couple big plays this match. That one too. Put the bomb in perfect placement. Danks just had Danks Sniv. They had nowhere to go. There was nowhere to hide, nowhere to get away from that D.Va bomb. Great job, House of Homie.
And now looks like Pro is moving up through the bottom and onto the point. They are now sitting on top of the point contesting, and there is a great Graviton catching 3, and there is a Sniv nuke to try and clean it up, but it doesn't look like it doesn't even matter. It's already cleared out. It's just House of Homie and Hanzuki trying to hold on to it a little bit while longer, and yet Hot Pockets up on the high ground, falling back all the way to the choke, and Project Proteus has taken the point back.
A great communication there at Project Proteus. Using that Wolfpack ult, that's all they really needed, and just 3 were down instantly when they got caught in that ult. Just obviously the entire team focused fire on those 6 players. It was awesome.
The hammer down goes directly into Surprise shield, and Surprise does get a hammer down in exchange for their life, and does set up a double kill for Hanzuki, but Hanzuki has fallen. It's pretty much even right now, 2 down on both sides of the 4 versus 4. Will they be able to hold on to the point? A high noob says they might not be able to, does catch out Sniv, who's outside of the mech. Wolfpack trying to get a little bit of charge there, trying to get a little bit of damage, but isn't going to be able to find it. It is just Danks left on the Lucio, trying to contest it a little longer, and is going to retreat. Both teams sitting at just about 75%.
Yeah, such a back and forth game. Both teams just using their ults so well to get these team clears. Hanzuki seems to have an ult almost every other fight, doing a lot of damage with that bar, just chunking into this huge group that is Ghost. It's 6 members.
And now moving along the backside, it's time for Project Proteus to try and take the point again. But a lot of them have dropped low, and there's a House of Homie nuke. It does catch out Sozin. That could be really bad for them. Bunny is on the point trying to swing away, but can't protect the team when you're down there. And the rest of Project Proteus is falling in the meantime. 98, 99, and 100% objective is secured for Titans.
A great job by House of Homie again with that D.Va bomb, splitting the enemy team, which is what you want to do against GOATs. Any way to get that team apart from each other. Project Proteus really just needs to stick together as a GOATs comp and just sort of run towards either the Ana or the McCree or the Reinhardt. Just whatever one is closest. Whatever enemy team can't run away or can't get away like the Pharah or the D.Va, and just sort of get them down first. But they're both doing an amazing job with their ults, getting these really fun to see team clears. Both Wolfpack with the Zarya bombs and Hanzuki with these really big barrages.
And now it is time for this train station. A lot of opportunity for environmental kills here. And this is a very fun point to hold. Both teams, looks like they're keeping with their comps, except for Hot Pocket swapping yet again over to the Reaper this time around. Could be interesting, trying to deal out that extra damage to the GOATs. Danks hit by a stray sleep dart, is going to have to take a little bit of a nap and then get back up with the team soon. Hot Pocket's right in the middle of everybody, has to use the Wraith form to get out when they weren't able to deal enough damage. Surprise, though, did manage to get a Fire Strike heal onto Sozin. That means no main heal for the side of Project Proteus, but since Hot Pocket's down, there's a lot of DPS missing from Titans. I don't know if they'll be able to do it either way, but with Bunny down, that is no main tank now. And Pro they are falling back. They're all just on scraps of health. Wolfpack trying to use the bubble to stay alive a little bit longer, but does fall. It's just Danks left who gets caught out, and Titans takes the point.
And Quaking Punch already at 91 ult percentage, just doing a ton of healing and just hitting these huge purple nades. I'm seeing constantly these 3 or 4 team purples, which is a giant thing for Ana to do. Obviously, a big chunk of the health already down. They're going to need to deal with Hanzuki somehow. They have very little to deal with her. They need to Sniv needs to dive her a little more because they don't have a Mercy in play. But they need to get him down quicker.
And now Project Proteus is starting to move up towards the point, but they're spread out a little bit here. Bunny being very aggressive, getting right onto the point and cannot protect the team from the Earthshatter. And Hanzuki getting a quad kill with the Rocket Barrage is going to stop Project Proteus in their tracks with a team kill.
Yeah, great combo right there. Hanzuki recognizes the enemy team down after that Rhine Shatter. He was low health himself, but didn't matter because obviously there's nothing to shoot him down if he can get the kills.
And that was absolutely huge. And Project Proteus now looking for an opportunity to start moving towards the point. Looks like they're going along the back side for now. Actually, no, they're swapping around, going along the front, going towards the stairs. Titans, they're setting up a little bit of a defense here. Hanzuki's trying to find opportunity. And there is House of Homie's nuke. It does catch out Sozin, wasn't able to get behind Bunny's shield. And in the meantime, Bunny's shield is actually down, just up a little while longer, but it's taken a lot of damage. And so Project Proteus, they have to fall back. They can't push forward without their main heal.
Yeah, House of Homie, again, just doing such an amazing job with these Diva Bombs, splitting up the enemy Goats team. And right there, Bunny should have obviously backed off. The entire team should have, instead of trying to work their way around it. Interesting decision there.
But now Project Proteus, they're using the rally to start moving forward, and they have hit that Earthshatter. Hanzuki trying to use that Rocket Barrage to try and even up a little bit. Hot Pockets now with the Death Blossom trying to clean up a little bit, but Sniv's defense matrix says it isn't going to do as much as they wanted it to. House of Homie knocked out, and that could be it. There it is, securing the point for Project Proteus. Hanzuki's the last one left, trying to stay alive a little while longer and not get staggered out. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to do it, though. Drop pretty far low and is going to fall. That's going to be a pretty devastating stagger.
Yeah, that was a big stagger. Hanzuki probably should have either killed himself or try to get out of there. An interesting decision to fight. Maybe trying to build up his ult. He is very close to ult, and he's done such a good job with his ults that he might only need one to win a team fight.
And now it's time for Titans to try and retake the point. They're sitting on 99%. They only have to win one fight. And if they do, they are going to take the first match. But Project Proteus, they have lightning in their veins, and they are ready to take this first match against them. And the Earthshatter goes straight into the shield. Bunny keeping that up is going to be protecting the team, and the Rocket Barrage is not going to do anything. Now a return Earthshatter from Surprise doesn't look like it's going to do enough, since Surprise was caught inside of the Graviton Surge, and they are not going to be able to stand.
You got to assume there's a little bit of a panic there on the side of Titans. They did use ults a little prematurely. Obviously, that Rocket Barrage coming out with the entire team up and looking at you is going to be almost instant death because you're just a sitting target. The Reinhardt Earthshatter might have spent a little off time, but Bunny's shield was obviously up. Nonetheless, they will have plenty of time to build up ults again and try another push.
And it's time for Titans to have that chance, starting to move towards the point. Bunny is nano boosted, ready to deal a lot of damage. Is going to get the first kill. Charging forward, isn't going to be able to catch anybody, though. Surprise, now nano boosted, trying to get some return damage on there. And there is Wolfpack trying to use that extra damage to get a little bit of charge. Surprise is dropped pretty low, and there is a pretty good Earthshatter and a great nuke. That's going to open up the point. A return from Sniv is not going to be enough. Just House of Homie knocked outside of the neck. It's just Sniv left on. The point does fall. The point transfers, and overtime takes it down. Doesn't look like they will be able to get on there, and Titans secures the first map.
That was a great play there by the Titans. Main tank, you saw he was getting pushed. Surprise was getting pushed around by the nano-boosted Rhine on the enemy side, which decided to sit still, be patient, wait for the Reinhardt nano-boost to end, and his nano-boost to come into play. And obviously the huge kills, got a triple kill to start that fight off once it ended. Great job by Surprise.
And here is where we see Bunny getting that huge pentakill. Absolutely great. Just one after the other, but it was not enough to take the map. Ended up losing 2-1, but it was tooth and nails along the way. And so we're going to have to go into our next map now. And both teams were performing very well there. But what do you think Project Proteus was missing on their offensives and their defensives there?
Man, it was so back and forth. I just think they needed to stay together a little more and just a little bit better target selection. That they had the right comp, either not worry about the Pharah to begin with at all and just run for that McCree or run for that Reinhardt or Ana. Any one of those players really can't get away from you that well. So if the entire team runs after an Ana, she is dead, and she's a huge member of the enemy team gone. So anything like that, just get after the small players and then get the far down afterwards. But they did have the right comp for it. I think that either team could win at this point, so I'm excited to see what this next game brings.
It looks like our chat thought that was a pretty great game as well. Tell us who you think is going to take away the entirety of today inside of the chat. And yeah, I think that Project Proteus, they had just a few issues there. It felt like Bunny was maybe just a little bit too aggressive at some points and pushed forward in front of the rest of the team just a little bit too far and could not protect them when Titans then engaged on top of them. And I think that maybe they just need to stick together a little bit more. Either the rest of the team needs to be as aggressive as Bunny and is just always sticking with them, or Bunny needs to rein themselves in a little bit and stick with the team a little bit more. So we are going to be going into our second map of the day soon, and it's going to be King's Row.
Absolutely. King's Row, a lot of fun. Like you said, exactly. I think the rest of the team just needs to be just as aggressive as Bunny, because it doesn't matter. Farah is going to be shooting at you guys no matter where you are, whether you're holding a choke or whether you're running at them. Farah is always going to be hitting her shot. She's always going to be able to get her rockets around the shield. So just go in. You're going to be getting shot at no matter what. Just out-heal it. You guys, if you stay together, you could out-heal almost any amount of damage as a GOATS comp. So I would like them just to go hard in with Bunny and see how that works. But we'll see how they play it this time. Maybe they'll pull out some DPS for us.
It depends on the composition you're going to be running. Obviously, if you are running a GOATS, then that's really what you need to do. You just need to be all together in a little ball right in the middle of the enemy team, and it's going to be so difficult to get rid of you, and you're going to be outputting quite a bit of damage at that close range. But if you're spread out and trying to engage at different points, then it's going to be fairly easy to knock you out one by one. The Sun Overwatch giving us the bits saying Pro has got this. We're going to see if they can turn this around a little bit once we get into the map. Looks like there is going to be a little bit of thinking on the side of Project Proteus. They're trying to figure out exactly what it is they want to do for this next one. Possibly going to be getting a swap before too long. This hasn't quite given us the ready prompt. And then once they do, we're going to be getting into this. So let's talk about what is good on King's Row, what we're probably going to be seeing. So we did see a GOATS composition from Project Proteus just now. Do you think they're going to be playing that again on King's Row?
They definitely can. It's absolutely viable on King's Row. It's very easy to hold point without showing yourself to sight lines. So they can really wait for the fight to get to them and fight up close, which is what GOATS likes to do. So attack or defense, you can use GOATS. Project Proteus is comfortable playing it. I'm sure we'll see it. Titans might pull out the Widowmaker. As always, this is a great Widowmaker map. I know Hanzuki plays a lot of it, so I'd like to see it get pulled out if you can shoot around GOATS. If you can even get one pick on a GOATS comp as Widowmaker, it can really open up a lot for your team, because GOATS really needs all 6 members alive to do well.
Absolutely. So we are going to be getting into the map now. We're going to see if our predictions are correct. But like you said, there are just a ton of great long sight lines on this map and a lot of opportunities for the teams to utilize those. I mean, very famously, a long time ago, Meta Athena ran a 3 sniper offense on this map, and it was very much unheard of, and it was very weird to see, but it was a lot of fun. So I like to see how this moves forward. We're going to get to see what these teams are going to be running in just about 5 seconds.
Speaking of old school, Sniper, Widowmaker used to be able to be damage boosted by Mercy and just body shot kill you, which obviously would be a little unfair.
No, you could fully, if you were fully charged, you could body shot a Tracer and kill her.
Yep.
It was great. So then what they did was they tweaked her headshot damage multiplier and then reduced her base damage. So and then just rewarding the good Widowmaker players. So that was a good change. The Sun getting us some more bits saying just go GOATS. So thinking Sun's thinking Pro is going to be going GOATS. And meanwhile, it looks like that isn't really what they're going to be doing on this offense.
If they stick with the Doomfist, I'd be curious to see. I do love seeing a good Doomfist, which looks like they're going to give it a try. Always fun to watch.
And we are going to start seeing a little bit of engage here all the way past the choke point. Pro is ready to go in, but Helix Snake getting caught out. Maybe a little bit too aggressive there. You had to be careful against that, Hanzo. And there it is, another engage surprise, getting a great fire strike onto Bunny. Sozin pretty low, has to stay back and make sure that they can get healed up. Is going to be getting back up to full, but they had to wait for the rest of their team.
Yeah, Helix has to really make sure that Helix has to make sure that Snib has the bubble ready to go when he dives in. He can go in aggressively as a Doomfist, but with those two snipers on the field, he's got to have some protection right away.
And now it's time to get onto the point again. And there we saw that Doomfist Helix getting right up into it. And Wolfpack managed to get a great kill onto Hanzuki there. That could be exactly what they need. But House of Homie getting a double kill. Looks like it's going to shut that down. Surprise was nano boosted and tried to move up in there, but wasn't able to get too much value out of that. That could have been a little bit of a nano waste there and could give Project Proteus the advantage.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. Interesting seeing this Doomfist. It needs to hit someone other than Surprise. Try to get him with that punch. He's doing a good job though, getting in then getting out without dying. So if he can keep that up, and if Wolfpack can go ahead and get these snipers in the back, comp could work well for him.
And now to see if Helix can get in there, get out, and also get some kills in between. Looks like they might not need to, though. Bunny getting the first kill onto Surprise and does open up the team for an Earth Shatter, but isn't quite enough. And there is his Helix getting a great kill with the punch, managing to take out the main heal, and that could be exactly what they need. Tawny used the Transcendent to keep everybody alive while they were caught inside of the Graviton Surge, and Bunny getting right up into Hot Pockets, does get taken out. Tawny style doing absolutely huge work here to defend this point. It is just Wolfpack left, who does manage to get a kill on the way out, but has to retreat.
Hanzuki doing a great job on Widowmaker, getting 3 kills right there, saving the point even when the rest of his team was down. Long enough, obviously, for Surprise and House of Homie to get back, which is really the meat of this team with this holds. So if they can get their DPS back now quick enough, they can hold the...
There it is on the point again, and there is a Dragon Blade. Looks like the rest of Project Proteus is doing a great job too, managing to take out 3 members of the enemy. Wolfpack was taken out during that Dragon Blade, but it does not matter. The point has been taken, and they will be able to push this forward.
Yeah, Wolfpack has gotten headshotted about 4 times this game. He's got to be getting upset by now. A little bit of those, gotta hate those games where it just seems like everything just is hitting you in the head. Happens, but nonetheless, Hanzuki and Hot Pocket doing a really good job with this double sniper with the holds. Obviously, Project Proteus able to get the point there with the ults. Sniv ult was so big, and the Genji ult hard to beat.
And now looks like they're starting to be able to move forward here, starting to push that up. And they're going to be looking for an opportunity. They do have that Earth Shatter, so they're going to be trying to take down Surprise Shield so they can get that out. There is a Earth Shatter from both sides, but Bunny has been taken out, and it does slow down Surprise a little bit, but not enough. Surprise just swiping through the enemy team does get slept, and so has to fall back after waking back up. But still, that is a great point take for the side of Titans.
Yeah, good hold on Titans. It seems like they're winning the majority of the team fights. Obviously, Project Proteus was able to get the point, which is huge. But nonetheless, Titans doing a really good job with this double sniper combo. Just hitting their targets. To obviously, it's hard to beat if the enemy team is hitting on this.
There are the Dragons. It does cut off Bunny a little bit from the team, but does manage to get back in time, getting healed back up. Wolfpack right back with the team as well. You're having a really tough time playing this Genji into this team, but with Tawny style down from Helix Snake's arrows, that could be exactly what they need. But a hammer down from Surprise is nano boosted, and Bunny charges into the enemy team, but that does mean is not with the team to protect them. Will that work though? Seems like it does. Was able to get 2 kills, and the last one left is House of Homie, who has to fall back to the high ground.
A super aggressive play there by Bunny. You see it paid off, though. Obviously, that slam getting to the meat of the healers. Once he was nano boosted, it only takes 2 swings to get those guys down. Great play by Project Pro.
Poor House of Homie trying to... Actually does manage to get the mech back, but killed shortly afterwards. That is pretty rough. That's going to be a very tough stagger for the enemy, and so because of that, Project Proteus is able to take the point, and now we're going to be able to start moving towards the very last checkpoint of the map.
Yeah, you see Titans switch off the double sniper, even though they didn't have any real counters against them. I guess Helix was doing good enough on this Hanzo to sort of make them switch off, and Wolfpack obviously on the Genji was able to dive them good enough. So great job on the side of Project Proteus to stop that double snipe meta.
And it does catch 2 from House of Homie. That is going to open up Project Proteus with Sozin knocked into the void by Hanzuki. Seems like it is not going to be enough. Sniv has to fall all the way back to the spawn. Does manage to stay alive, but the rest of the team has fallen, and Titans has taken the point.
Just yet again, House of Homie getting kills with that Diva Bomb by simple placement. So I'm really impressed by his placement with these Diva Bombs, just realizing the enemy team has nowhere.
And now it's time to start moving forward. Bunny keeping that shield up, trying to protect the team. House of Homie was knocked outside of the mech, and with the Graviton Surge, that could be exactly what they need. But the Dragon Strike is going to be healed through by the Transcendence from Tawny Style. And that could be exactly what they need to continue to stay alive. It was surprised down. They have no main tank. Will that be enough? Tawny Style did manage to take out Sozin there, so no main heal for the side of Project Proteus, but they do have the respawn advantage. Wolfpack is right up inside of the middle of the enemy team and is doing a little bit of work and has managed to retake the point. House of Homie is there trying to contest it a little while longer, but is close to getting knocked out of the mech, is knocked outside of the mech. Now going to have to try and get that back as soon as possible. Surprise, trying to just swing through, trying to keep that shield up. We do know that Earth Shatter is going to be up pretty soon. Surprise does have it, but there is that Nano Blade available for the side of Project Proteus, and they are going to be using it. Wolfpack getting right onto the enemy team. Isn't going to be able to quite connect with enemies quite yet, though, and the Riptire, in the meantime, from Hot Pockets manages to get a double kill. Seems like Wolfpack was not able to do quite enough work there and has to fall back towards the spawn and does get taken out.
Yeah, Titan's doing a really good job of avoiding that Nano Blade. Such a huge tool on the side of Project Proteus. Such a good job with Titans to get away.
Project Proteus, this is going to be their last chance. Just 45 seconds left on the clock. And with Helix Snake taken out by Hanzuki, they're going to be missing out on a lot of DPS. Also, Bunny does not have that shield available right now, so I have to be very, very careful as they try and just build ultimates and push towards the point. Just 30 seconds left. They're going to have to do something. Now, Helix Snake is back on the Hanzo, ready to output some damage and possibly open up the side of Titans for this. Bud sitting on a Nano Boost and a Transcendence that are going to be getting that Rocket Barrage just right now. That could be exactly what they need to hold on to this last point. Will they be able to? Earth Shatter says they might just. Pro trying to charge in there does knock Surprise a little bit, and there is a nuke from House of Homie. Does manage to catch out Bunny. No main tank for the side of Project Proteus. Wolfpack is caught out a little bit, going to be falling pretty soon. Does get killed, and that looks like it's going to be it. A Dragon Strike is going to help hold on to this a little while longer. Tawny Style using the Transcendence to try and keep the team alive. Will that be enough? Danks is just so low, does fall. Now Wrecking Ball is here to try and hold on to this a little while longer, but the Riptire is now going to be rolling around. He's going to be trying to cut off the enemy a little bit. Bunny holding on to the point a little while longer, though, is bubbled by the Zarya. He could be able to hold on to this a little while longer. Sniv now trying to get on there along with Wolfpack, going to be holding on to this point a little while longer. Will they be able to do it? A Graviton Surge does catch 3, and there's a Dragon Blade. It catches 2 straight away, and there is a third. Will that be enough? Wolfpack does manage to get another kill with that, and all the way to the back. Project Proteus holding on to this for the last little stretch here. Will they be able to do it? It looks like they will. Back from the brink all the way to the end.
What just happened? What?
You never give up. That's what.
Bunny with the huge hamster play, staying alive long enough on his own for his entire team to get back. I am astounded at that play. Could not believe that Project Proteus was able to finish that map. It looked like 5 members of Titans were alive, and Bunny, that was all that was left. The hamster contest for...
The hamster contest, you spin it to win it, and does manage to hold on to that. Opens up round 3 and 4 as well. But Titans, they have a pretty high bar to clear. They have to push the payload all the way to the end.
They weren't able to get overtime. That's such a huge thing. So if they're able to get the point to the end with just over a minute left at least, then they will be able to get an attack without any repercussion. So we'll see how it goes. That is a big ask, though. This is a hard point to get with over a minute. It's a long way to go.
So let's look a little bit at these compositions. Looks like we're going to be seeing Project Proteus. They're going to be running a very similar composition, except that Wolfpack is now going to be playing the McCree to try and stop some flankers. And also that Pharah Hanzuki has been playing Pharah a lot today, trying to get some hit scan for that. And on the other side, we are going to be seeing House of Homie on the Widowmaker, so keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to get a quick pick maybe and then switch back over to D.Va, it looks like. But this actually is a good strategy. Widowmaker has that really easy, quick spot right when the doors open up to get it.
Looks like the enemy, or looks like ProPro is trying to keep an eye on that, trying to make sure that they don't get picked out. Going to be breaking that sight line, going back around the corner. Bunny looking just to keep that shield up and trying to keep an eye on where the enemy is going. Now, Titans, they are not quite ready to push through. It looks like they're kind of waiting for a pick, but they're not going to be able to find it quite yet. And now they're going to start slowly moving forward all the way around the far side of the statue, waiting for just the right moment to go in. And now, here it is, onto the point, trying to start swinging away. Bunny has dropped incredibly low and does a fall. That is going to be exactly what Titans wants to happen in order to take the point. They have already gotten the first tick. I don't think that ProPro will be able to hold on like they did before. And that is it. The first point take on the very first push for Titans.
Yeah, I love how aggressive House of Homie was right there. He knew that he just switched to the D.Va. He was full health. Obviously, the fighting had been going on for a little while. So he just said, I'm full health. Some of you guys are damaged. I'm going to go in there and just try to win this battle. And obviously, he got D-Mech, but starting out the fight, getting those quick kills, opening up the fight for surprise to get those swings in. Great job by House of Homie again as the D.Va. Just can't stop saying it.
House of Homie back inside of the mech, ready to do some damage. Tony Sal on the Lucio gets a great kill, as they have been doing, and a Earth Shatter from Bunny does cost Bunny's life, but does manage to knock down 3, and that does open up Titans a little bit for Project Proteus. Sniv wanting to push forward, has to be mindful of the healers, is for a little bit now, does have that bubble, trying to get a little bit of extra charge there. Not going to be able to find it quite yet, but is on quite a bit of charge. Does get flashbang and gets hit by Van the Hammer, but stays alive thanks to Sozin. Doing good work, does have that Graviton Surge now, looking for an opportunity to use it. Ready to start pushing forward, and here it is. Will they be able to do it? Titans, they're coming up around the corner now, ready to find an opportunity, and there is a high noon. Will that be enough? There is the nano boosted blade in the back. Wolfpack ready to do some work. Or not Wolfpack, rather, Helix Snake ready to do some work, does take out Quaking Punch, but does fall to surprise. Doesn't look like that might have been enough. It's just Sniv left on the point, who gets taken out by surprise, and that is the second point taken with a lot of time in the bank.
You hate to see that Sniv still has his ult at the end of that fight. I would have loved to see the fight open up with Sniv ult. Maybe he was trying to time out House of Homie with the defense matrix. But nonetheless, they had so many ults. They had the nano boosted Genji that could get through even a Lucio ult. Honestly, you can cut through it pretty quickly. So nonetheless, Titans doing a great job using their ults to counter the enemy teams, even when they don't have the advantage.
There is a nuke for House of Homie. Doesn't catch anybody, though. Bunny was able to block it this time, and that could be, but that means that Bunny has pretty much no shield health left. But there it is. There is that Graviton Surge, and it does catch 3, and the High Noon does catch surprise from Wolfpack, but a great rocket barrage from Hanzuki catches 4 people. It's just Danks left alive to defend this point. Won't be able to hold it for very long. Has to fall back towards the health pack. Does get flashbang and killed. We're coming right up to the end here. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. Will ProPro be able to hold on to it? Helix Snake trying to stay alive on it a little while longer. Will they be able to hold on to this like before? We'll see. It's just Quakey Punch left. Rest team is starting to come back, though. They're surprised, trying to get a charge up. Doesn't catch anybody quite yet. And there is Hot Pockets using the High Noon all the way in back. Does get 2 kills with it. That is great. That opens up this point. It goes to the end with a lot of time left in the bank.
That was a huge push by Void. Great job by Hot Pocket, obviously, on that McCree. And a huge push by Titans. Great job by Hot Pocket on that McCree, getting those flashbangs off. And obviously the High Noon, getting 2 was just a major in getting that fight.
There it is. We're going to be seeing, let's see, how much time is it left in the bank? 4 minutes and 11 seconds versus 0. That is really bad for Project Proteus. They're going to have a really tough round 3 and 4 ahead of them. They're going to have to do a lot of work on their defense. Wasn't really able to stop Titans at any point. It was just a long, steady push for them and taking it all the way to the end.
Yeah, Titans just being the more aggressive team, and you can see it's paying off for them. House of Homie just really diving in there with the Diva, just jumping on the right targets. Obviously, Hanzuki and Hot Pock are able to hit their shots as these hit scan players. So really impressive play out of Titans. I would like to see Project Proteus maybe just be a little more aggressive themselves. Just answer back with their own aggressive play.
And so now we just have 10 seconds left for round 3. It's going to be difficult. We're seeing a pretty interesting composition here, though, from the side of Project Proteus. Helix Snake is going to be playing that Bastion, going to be sticking behind Bunny, trying to just spring out that extra DPS. There it is, setting up and trying to get a lot of damage out onto Surprise. Shield is going to be able to quite find enough, though. Titans hiding behind that cover to make sure that they don't get hit by too much DPS. House Homie knocked out of the mech, though. Charged in maybe a little bit too aggressively, is knocked out, and there is Sniff getting right up into it. Does manage to get the follow-up kill. Helix Snake tearing through the enemy team. Going to be getting surprised on the back end, and Titans has to fall back.
Yeah, how's the homie diving in there? Just had no support from his team, though. It seems like he wasn't communicating with him and dived in alone. Obviously caught out in no man's land. Quickly got out of mech and killed after.
This is pretty interesting. Normally you do see an off tank in, in any game, but instead we have Sniv on that Winston just to get right up into the enemy team and put out that extra damage, just going for sort of a full surprise composition. There already is an ult from Helix Snake trying to get a little bit of damage into that small corridor, but Hanzuki was able to get a double kill in the meantime. Sozin is revived back, so they still have that main heal. Quaking Punch does manage to take out Helix Snake, and that does mean that Bastion is gone, and a hammer down gets just totally thwarted by the Rocket Barrage, and that is it. Titans takes King's Row.
A nice try there by Project Proteus. I would have liked to see them set up high ground with that Bastion, but nonetheless, great try. It was going to be a hard hole. 4 minutes is a long time for the enemy team to take one.
Here we do see Wolfpack's great Dragon Blade right into that Graviton Surge, doing great work there. Managing to get right back onto Tawny Style as well. That is what just turned that game around for them. But it was not enough. They weren't able to keep Titans off of the very end of the point. And not only that, but they had to give them 4 minutes and 10 seconds, or rather 4 minutes and 11 seconds in the time bank. That meant that Titans had plenty of time to push forward onto A point and take it. So what do you think Pro is maybe lacking there in that fight?
I think really just a consistent way of taking down the Pharah. If Hanzuki is going to stick on this Pharah, which it seems like he's going to, he's doing a great job with it so far. They got to be able to shoot it down because they're not playing Mercy. So it's not like they have to deal with a Pharmacy. If you can get him a Kree or a Soldier or even a Widowmaker, obviously, or an Ashe, anything that can just quickly 1 or 2 shot that thing down, it is really going to help out your team. Unless you want to go GOATs, and then you sort of ignore it until the end and try to go for the smaller players. But they need to decide which way they're going, because right now they're sort of in between, and it just doesn't seem to be working for them.
Well, we will see how they try and deal with this after the halftime. So, guys, enjoy this little video presentation we have prepared for you, and we'll see you after the break.
Property of matter. T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Do something.
Nani?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not.
Happy feet. One more combo. That ain't Falco. That ain't Falco. I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street. Look at them, look at Aries.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to O.C.C. Scrim's Gold Division. Tonight is Titans versus Project Proteus, and it's been a pretty crazy day so far. Project Proteus almost managed to take the first map, just clawing their way through, but ended up losing Busan 2-1. And then on Kings Row, it was a different story. Titans had a much easier time on that map, managing to end it in round 3. So Titans sitting at 2-0. I am joined today by Cal. How you doing so far?
I'm doing great, man. Loving these games. Loving what I'm seeing out of these two teams. Titans coming out with the classic 2-2-2 comps, which is always a lot of fun to watch. Anytime you get to see those big DPS players on the field. And then on the side of Project Proteus, Bunny with his Reinhardt is just showing off huge plays, huge shatters. Lots of multi-kills. So really exciting games tonight.
And looks like we have had a swap. Project Proteus is going to be swapping out Bunny for Damon, one of their other main tank players. So we are going to be seeing that. So it could be pretty interesting. Keep an eye on that. And our third map is going to be Temple of Anubis, the 2CP map, the first map inside of Overwatch. What do you think these teams are going to be able to do here?
Well, it's always interesting to see what teams come out with. Obviously, the Reinhardt is probably still going to be on the field. You see Damien, I'm sure he's still going to play the Reinhardt. And even though Bunny plays Reinhardt too, we talked about this last week, that it's not always who's the better player. It's just that different play style sometimes messes up the enemy team. You're so used to playing this ultra-aggressive Ryan who's always charging, who's always fire striking, and all of a sudden you play a more conservative one that takes his time and times his things out. It'll throw you off sometimes. So obviously we'll see the Reinhardt. Pharah, Widowmaker is very good here. You have the sight lines. And then you can still play Goats comp, especially on the attacking team, to just sort of charge in there and fight on point with Goats.
So we are going to be seeing that too. We haven't quite gotten the ready prompt from Project Proteus, so we're going to be going in soon, but not quite yet. And I do want to see maybe something a little bit interesting in Project Proteus. We did see a little bit of experimentation on King's Bro, had a little bit of a latch ditch effort bringing out the Bastion, but it didn't quite work for them. Now, Temple of Anubis is a map that Bastion could work very, very well on if you're creative about it, and especially if you use something like a Symmetra to give that Bastion a little bit of mobility, able to get up into some weird spots, but probably not going to happen because that does take quite a bit of coordination to do that Symmetra composition. So it looks like we have gotten the ready prompt. We're going to be going in very, very soon here.
Yeah, obviously you love seeing those Bastion comps on these things, especially with Symmetra. But like you said, that's got to be something that you practice. It's not really something you just try out of it randomly. But I would love to see it. May Junkrat still works very well here. A lot of choke points you can really hold with Junkrat. He's been a classic on this map for a long time. It hasn't changed. And he's got a little buff recently. So you've seen him a little more often. Excited to see what these two teams come out.
I don't understand all the hate for 2CP. I love it. I love Temple of Anubis. It's a great map design to me. But that's because I'm weird.
Oh, I'm on that bandwagon a little bit. I understand where the hate comes from. Those second points as an attacking team sometimes get really annoying, especially when the enemy team has a good Mei or a good hamster that can just stall out the point seemingly endless until their team respawns.
Yeah, you see the difference is I am that good hamster. So it's fun for me.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
So let's take a quick look at these compositions here. Looks like we are going to be seeing a Mei on the defense. Hot Pockets is going to be running that. And Tony Stahl staying on that Zenyatta. A little bit of an unsung hero for Tyson's here. Tony Stahl has been doing great work, doing a ton of damage to the enemy team as both the Zenyatta and the Lucio. And let's take a quick look at Project Proteus's offense.
Yeah, Project Proteus has the good offense. Obviously, Helix Snake can deal with these snipers. Hanzo has a weird way of dealing with enemy snipers because of that hitbox on his arrows. And Wolfpack also can do a good job if he can dive correctly. So it looks like Project Proteus does have the right comp to deal with this. Let's see if they attack.
So Damon trying to keep the team alive is Anti-Nova doing a great job of keeping everybody behind the shield. They're going to start moving up towards the high ground here. Danks caught out a little bit, but managed to get back to the team. Is back up to full health. Now positioned at the top of the point. Ready to find opportunity. Hanzuki, though, getting a great kill onto Wolfpack. There's a lot of DPS that's going to be missing, and they're trying to make a decision here. Look like they decide to get down onto the point. There is a great charge from Surprise. Gets walled off by their own Mei, but back with the team now. Cleaning up the rest of Project Proteus. And it's Danks, and now it is just Sniv left. Does fall, and it's time to reset and try again.
And Hanzuki, it's just so much fun to watch Hanzuki on this Widowmaker. Obviously, taking out that Genji is such a big play as a Widow, because that's your main thing you got to deal with. And obviously, then you can just duel the Hanzo without worry. But nonetheless, Hanzuki doing a great job. Helix Snake has to get some of these shots if they want to try.
Now it's trying to start pushing forward. Project Proteus looks like they're going to be doing a little bit of a different strategy, instead moving towards that large health pack. Going to have to deal with Hot Pockets, gets the wall off there, but now doesn't have that. Going to have to start moving up towards the team, and now they had to move through towards this narrow checkpoint, but it looks like that does not work in their favor. Damon instantly falls, and now Sniv taking a lot of damage as well, trying to stay alive a little while longer. Does manage to get back out around the corner and healed up, but Hot Pockets way back in the back line, doing a lot of CC work, but doesn't manage to get a kill quite yet. Now there is that on a Quaking Punch getting right into the back, opens up the team with an anti-nade and cleans them out.
I do not know if Hanzuki has... He really has had zero pressure, just these little shots. I don't know if they're going to wait for the Helix the Snake to headshot him, or if they're trying to tell Wolfpack to get behind and he's just getting caught. But they need to deal with this Widow, because even body shots by a Widow, they add up. It's just so much damage a fully charged shot coming out of her does.
And now it is time to push forward yet again. But there's Graviton Surge, catches 3. Teams trying to stay alive thanks to the sound barrier, doing a lot of work. Seems like they're all okay. Now, to see that different ideas of how to get onto the point now, but they're starting to go in the same direction, getting onto the point, but Hanzuki getting a kill onto Helix Snake. Says it's going to work very well for them from behind. Not a Graviton Surge. And Earthshatter is going to knock down the team along with the Blizzard, along with a Nano Boost, going to be stopping Project Proteus in their tracks.
Project Proteus definitely had that. You saw Helix the Snake was able to close that gap and get up in Widow's face, knock her off the perch. But Hot Pocket coming in with the huge ult, freezing the team, getting them off the point. So great job by Hot Pocket to save the day as a May, which happens so often.
This is going to be their last chance. Just 60 seconds left. Hot Pocket's way in the back, trying to do a little bit of work from there. And it seems like Project Proteus might not be able to do it. 3 of them are already down. They do not have much left. They have so many ultimates, but they aren't able to use them. It's just Danks left, and Danks falls. They maybe have just one more chance to try and take this point as we just go past 30 seconds.
Yeah, that fight was so quick that they actually are going to have, looks like, one more shot, but they're going to have to run on the point. It's super hard to get the point, especially on this thing when the enemy team can just shoot you when you're running past them. They really can't stop and fight.
They're going to deal with Hanzuki as well, ready to get some more headshots. And looks like they're trying to take the long way around, but they only have about 15 seconds left. Will they be able to close all that distance? Seems like they're a little bit preoccupied with Hot Pockets. Does take Hot Pockets out. This could be their chance. They had to get up through this checkpoint. They had to push forward so far, but no, Damon is down. It looks like they might not be able to do it. Oh, is this going to be a full hold on point A? Looks like it is going to be. Danks has fallen. It counts down. The Dragon Strike does come in. They do get caught inside of the Graviton Surge, but the Transcendence keeps everybody on Titans alive. Sniv just trying to contest the point a little while longer, is just on a sliver of health. The bubble keeps him alive a little while longer, but is not enough. Wolfpack now is going to be the one contesting it. I don't think they're going to be able to hold on to it like they did on King's Row. There is Damon down. There is Overtime takedown. An absolute full hold on point A.
Just a powerhouse show out by Titans. Hanzuki showing what he can do on that Widowmaker. You have to take down a Widowmaker when he's hitting his shots, and Hanzuki definitely was. He was never contested. Just great job there by Titans to show off what they...
And maybe running something to go against that Widowmaker, just running a Winston, running a Hammond, being able to close the distance, or even a Diva, just to get up on there, but they just weren't able to deal with that, and because of that, ended up having a lot of problems. And now they have to defend the entirety of point A, and I don't think they'll be able to do it. That is a very high bar.
Yeah, you actually saw Danks was able to get back there at the very end. He was the one who contested point for his team, and it was just him and Widow on the point. I would have loved to see Danks 1v1 the Widow a little more. He was sort of sitting on point and shooting into the enemy Rhine. He should have just 1v1 that Widow back here. But nonetheless, when you're in the heat of the moment, there's 6 teammates, there's 6 enemy teammates alive, so you have to just choose one. Nonetheless, it was a great play there by Titans. You gotta give him credit.
So this is going to be a pretty interesting composition coming out of Titans. Not really goats, although they do have 3 tanks. In this case, they're really just kind of running Hammond as a DPS, which does work surprisingly well. Does output a lot of damage if used correctly. It's going to be fun to watch. Partially because Titans knows they have a lot of time to experiment, and then they can just kind of do whatever they want.
Defend objective A.
Yeah, 4 minutes just to get one tick. It's sort of like last point. And Titans have this all this time in the world to do stuff. We'll see if Helix Snake maybe can answer back against Hanzuki. We see Helix finally has a Widowmaker of their own to duel, and they would.
So Helix Snake able to take out Hanzuki. That is a pretty big opportunity there. And is going to slow down Titans quite a bit. Looks like they're not really ready to give up, staying on that front line. But there is a double kill. There is the Ham and Hot Pockets getting up on top of that. Widowmaker doing good work, does take out Dank, but not able to get the Widow. Now it's time for a little bit of another Widow duel. Looks like Hanzuki gets the advantage this time because the respawn advantage. This could be exactly what Titans needs. It's time for them to start pushing up forward. House of Homie getting up onto that high ground, and there is Hot Pockets trying to get a good ground pound in. Isn't going to be able to get too many, though. And now pushing back a lot of people, getting a lot of ult charge off of that, sitting at 72%, getting a one last kill. Looks like this is going to be it. The progress goes forward all the way to the tick. That is map 3 going to Titans.
Yeah, great job, Hot Pocket, on that Hammond, getting the quick kill on the Zenyatta, and then just going over to the Widowmaker to have the Widowmaker deal with two things. Obviously making the job easy for Hanzuki to get ahead.
And here, we don't get to see this very often. Look at that huge anti nade doing huge work there. Gets a quadruple kill with 2 button presses. Absolutely huge. You love to see those big Ana plays. And and the chat inside of the game is lighting up. They're pretty happy about seeing that as well.
Yeah, just throws a grenade and walks away. Love it.
And so that is going to be map 3. Titans does take the win for today, but we do have one more map. I'm not entirely sure which one it's going to be. We're going to be seeing that soon. And we just do this to add up the map wins. Obviously, Projekt Proteus is going to want to win this, but they have to make sure that they don't get too down in the dumps. A lot of this game is mental, and we're going to be going into that soon.
Yeah, Projekt Proteus just needs to switch up a little bit. Obviously, that game is going to be over. That is going to be 3-0. But nonetheless, Projekt Proteus definitely can pull off this next map. And you love seeing these game 4s where it doesn't necessarily matter. The teams come out with some fun things sometimes. We see the Bastions, we see the Symmetras, you know. So we'll see maybe some Baptistes in here. Anything we haven't seen a lot of lately.
Absolutely huge. It seems like our game host, Overwatch crashed. We'll be getting back into that soon. So, yeah, Projekt Proteus, they had a great game 1, right? Their game 1 was fantastic. They were competing with Titans head-to-head. Seems like that map could have gone either way. But then, starting at King's Road, they started faltering a little bit and not quite able to keep up with Titans. They had that great, right at the beginning, they pushed forward and held onto it, right at the end, but they weren't able to stay on it long enough.
Yeah, we'll see. Like you said, that game 1, very good. But then I think it's the DPS play. I think that's sort of what switched. They both started playing a little more DPS. So Hanzuki, obviously, and Hot Pocket just coming out with some really, really strong characters, doing a really good job on the players that they're playing, or the characters they're playing. And that sniper, it's just hard to deal with an enemy sniper if you really don't have a good sniper yourself or a really good counter, which I don't think Projekt Proteus does necessarily. So that's obviously hurting them a lot.
Yeah, Projekt Proteus seems like they're not quite flexible enough to deal what is happening around. That's oftentimes what we do see in the Gold Division. There's a team that does one thing very, very well, and if the enemy just doesn't really know how to deal with it, they just kind of can't. But Titans has shown that they are pretty flexible, and they're able to deal with different compositions. The worst thing that they had was going up against a GOATS comp, but they did manage to pull it out in the end. And Projekt Proteus, they just haven't really been able to deal with what Titans is putting out. I think a big part of that is Hanzuki on the Pharah. I think Hanzuki has been on Pharah pretty much every game here, except for right at the end at Temple of Anubis, played the Widowmaker, did a great job of it. And it seems like Projekt Proteus just haven't really been able to deal with that.
Yeah, well, if there is an answer, definitely for the GOATS comp, which I would like to see Project Proteus go back to. I know that a lot of people aren't a huge fan of watching it. I think it's exciting, especially when another team is not playing the GOATS comp, to see sort of how they try to deal with it. So I would like to see Project Proteus maybe go back to it and try it again. Just deal with this far a little bit better at the end, or ignore a little bit. Just either one or the other. But they sort of they were diving her in the beginning, and then when they were letting her go. So and that's not going to work. You need to kill her or just wait for the end to kill her. But nonetheless, I would love to see Project Proteus go back to what they know and try to pull out this game 4.
It seems like chat is pretty split on whether or not Project Proteus should go GOATS. But here we are on beautiful Dorado, going to be our last map of the day. We're going to be seeing what these teams are going to be right. And I love Dorado. There are a lot of opportunities for great compositions here. You know, I realize I say that a lot, that I really like maps, because I like most of the maps. I don't really despise any of them. And maybe
they're so well made. I completely agree with you, man. There's so many different combinations for so many different maps. Obviously,
you guys need to play Counter-Strike and see some bad map design.
Yo. But like you said, Dorado is sort of what I relate to the classic Overwatch map for some reason. Whenever I think of Overwatch, I think of Dorado. It really is my go-to Overwatch map. Just so many different strategies you can use, so many different places you can hold too, especially with this first point. Whether it be the choke, the corner, or even the fountain. Just so many different areas that you can hold the point.
You know, I think if I had to choose, I think Numbani would be my least favorite map. But it's okay, because apparently Numbani has disappeared from competitive, is what Reddit is saying. But now it's time for a fight. Project Proteus is going to be taking the offensive at the beginning, trying to push this payload forward. And looks like they are going to be running Helix the Snake on the Widowmaker. He's going to be taking the first kill. Hot Pocket is getting taken out. Obviously, the turret is still going to be doing work, though. Helix, or Wolfpack, has to be a little bit careful about that, taking quite a bit of damage from that turret. Gonna have to be pretty careful moving forward. It's just sticking on that point now, gonna get hit by the D.Va and gets taken out. You have to be careful about that turret. Does quite a bit.
Yeah, turret obviously full. That turret has 100% accuracy, always hits its shots. So yeah, turrets do really well, especially in the lower divisions. You just see it get more and more powerful.
Project Proteus seems to just be having a little bit of a party in the wine cellar here. Just waiting for their opportunity to move forward. And the question is, does Titans have a clue as to what is going on? Looks like they're mostly prepared for what is happening, but there's Torger. Gets caught out by Damon, and now that could be exactly what they need to push forward. And also the turret is down as well. Trying to find an opportunity here. Damon can't quite get up the stairs, and so gets taken out by the Ash Tommy style, also putting out a lot of DPS. Seems like Project Proteus is having a little bit of a difficult time getting up onto this high ground, but now they're starting to be able to be pushing Titans off of this now. That's going to give them the opportunity to push the payload up, but they aren't quite too concerned about that at the moment. Wolfpack getting right into the enemy. Bubble to get out. Sniv taking the front line as well, taking a little bit of damage from that fire strike. Does get taken out by Hot Pockets and Dynamite. But the payload is pushed up to the arches, and Titans is off the high ground. So I guess they have achieved their Danks, winning a little bit of a 1v1 against the Reinhardt there. Good job. And now it's time for Pro to start moving forward. This is a little bit of a long, drawn-out fight here as they just continue to brawl. House of Homie and Hot Pockets on the front, trying to create that just front line for them. And there is a Bob ready to output some damage. Gets knocked back a little bit, outputting a ton of damage. Does help take out Damon. And the rest of the team has to fall back. Wolfpack taking the out. Sniv getting a little bit of damage, but the whole team staying back.
Great placement by Bob Hanzuki. It actually seemed to get pushed back by, I don't know if it was by a Danks push, maybe by a Damien charge, but something actually put the Bob in a little bit better placement. We had to get just a ton of damage. Helix the Snake doing a good job on the Widow, but I gotta give it up to Tawny Styles. Seems to be able to actually be the one contesting the Widow most often with his right clicks. So huge job on this end to kill this enemy Widow.
And now it's time to get on the point. There's the Molten Core from behind, doing great work, creating a no-fly zone for the side of Titans. Just two of them are outside of it now, and they are falling back. Wolfpack getting killed inside of the back line.
I would like to see a little more out of Wolfpack's ult. You saw he was only able to get the Torb turret with his blade right there. They'd have the enemy healers are two very slow healers that he should be able to get away from him if he doesn't hit the doesn't get hit by the sleep dart. So I'd like to see him dive those healers when he
We were talking about that during the halftime break. There are a lot of ultimates on the field right now. That's going to be one of them. The nuke coming in, and caught from behind, grabs the Earth Shatter. Damon is not going to be able to put that shield up to defend themselves. Gets taken out by the nuke, and that is another offense thwarted by Titans.
And yet again, you see it so much. Surprise and House of Homie are just so good at that combo. That Diva Bomb, Earth Shatter combo really just seems to get the enemy team a lot. And House of Homie has gotten some big ults this match because of...
Now, 30 seconds left. This is going to be Projekt Proteus' last fight here. And with Wolfpack already down, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Caught inside of a Graviton Surge. Looks like Titans is able to stay alive thanks to the Transcendence. Now, Projekt Proteus are going to have to be able to follow up some way. Surprise, alone in the team a little bit, and there is Hot Pockets way in the backline, putting down a turret. Might get caught out. Looks like doing good work for now, managing to get back to the health pack. Projekt Proteus having a rough time. Can't deal with House of Homie in the backline. Doing a lot of work there, and Bob is out of the map now. Going to be not going to be able to output any more damage. And now there is the Nano Boost. House of Homie ready to output all of that extra damage from those auto-rotating shotguns. Not going to be able to do too much with it. Does get a kill with Hot Pockets. It's just one more left. Sozin now on the point. Helix Egg trying to contest it a little while longer, is now there with Sniv. Might be able to hold on a little while longer, but another nuke. Damon has to defend from it. Cannot get onto the point. Round one, another full hold.
Yeah, man, Titans really just coming alive here at the second half of these games. So they keep on showing why they're one of the more dominant teams in this division right now. And doing a great job. Their DPS is coming out. A Quaking Punch doing an amazing job on keeping his team alive. Building these nanos so...
There's a chat talking about Tawny Style Zen. Tawny Style Zen has been absolutely huge this whole match here. And absolutely, you cannot underestimate Robot Gandhi. He will mess you up. And we're going to start getting into this soon. And I feel like Projekt Proteus, maybe they just don't have the mental stamina they need. It seems like they're having a tough time just keeping up through the game. Like I said, they had a great game one, and as today has continued, they've kind of just continued to fall off a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like their strategies. Like last time, as you saw them go down into that wine cellar, they pulled the entire enemy team back to try to fight them on the stairs. They were actually able to get a quick kill, and then they had their Widowmaker come around the back, and he just had free shots, was able to actually kill the Ana. But like we said, Tawny Styles then came in huge with a right click on a full health Widowmaker to headshot him down, and that ended the push for them right there. Projekt Proteus is doing a good job. They're coming out with pretty good strats, but Titans are just coming out with these really, really clutch plays, whether it's their DPS on Hanzuki or Quaking Punch with his nice, good heals, Tawny Styles, and House of Homie with these nasty Diva Bombs. It's just big plays out of Titans that are winning in the games.
And now we're going to see if Titans will be able to keep that up, and it looks like they're going to be going with a pretty interesting comp here. They're going to be running the Soldier, with something we don't get to see too often. Pro keeping that high ground. It looks like Danks is going to be on the Mercy, which is going to be pretty interesting. Going to be able to bring Wolfpack back after getting caught out by Widowmaker. Also, check out where Helix Snake is, all the way up on the roof, just kind of chilling out there. Does it get back up? A pretty interesting stance there. Quaking Punch doing good work, taking out Damon, and it's going to allow the team to start pushing forward. Doesn't look like the side of Projekt Proteus is going to be able to hold on to this point, and it's just going to go all the way to the end of the game.
Yeah, you see Danks there just giving up at the end. That is going to be a GG, it looks like. Great job by Titans. Good job by their DPS, definitely getting those quick kills. Hot Pockets coming in clutch on the Widow at the end.
Yeah, there was a little bit of surprise to see Quaking Punch tanking. You see that right, and in this end screen. They didn't have very far to go. They had plenty of time to do it, so they could experiment it with, just having fun. And now it's time to watch this play of the game. Hanzuki doing great work, holding that, alternate fire. Going to be taking people down. Just good positioning. That is what we like to see. And now we are at the end. Titans getting a 4-0. Pretty big day today, and of course it is time to talk about, as we always do, about the player of the match.
I'm definitely gonna have to give my player of the match either to Hanzuki or to House of Homie. Both of them, which is extremely well. I know I was talking about House of Homie before the match even started, how good I think he is. His diva play was on fire. He had so many good bombs. And Hanzuki was just doing so clutch on that Pharah and the Widowmaker. It didn't seem like the enemy team had any answer for him. But I am going to have to give it to, I think, House of Homie. I think he did a great job with his diva bombs, recognizing when to use them, how to split up the enemy team with them, and great communication with his other tank.
And, it's been really rough for me. So many players on Titans performed very well. I want to give it to Tanisaw, who is doing great work in that back line, able to do tons of damage on their own. You always saw some kills come out of there. But I'm going to have to give it to Hanzuki, who did great work on the Pharah for most of the game. Also a little bit of Widowmaker as well. Just consistently having great rocket barrages, consistently putting out great damage as well. And just opening up Project Proteus and taking advantage of the openings created by their team. So they are going to have to be my player of the match for today. And so it's time for our sign off. If you guys want to join the Discord, check out below the stream. You can find out more information there. You can join if you are silver all the way through diamond. You can get in on one of our teams. We're always looking for more people there. Also, if you're above that master, grandmaster, or even top 500, then you can apply to be a coach as well and get one of these teams up to snuff. And also, you can just join as a community member, or you can join as a member of the stream team. We're always looking for more people to help us there, whether it be casting, running the stream, or running the game lobby. Always looking for more people. You can also follow us on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and obviously here on Twitch. You can just hit that follow button. All of those things are O.C.C. Scrims. And also just on Facebook is Overwatch Cavalry Club, and that's what we are, the Overwatch Cavalry Club Scrims. And I don't think we have anything else to say, do we, Cal?
I think that's going to be it, man. Thank you guys so much for coming out here. It's always a pleasure announcing for you guys. Love having you. Hope you guys enjoyed the game.
And we'll see you all next time.